Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are tackling a question I've seen popping up a lot lately: how effective is that whole conspiracy for worms thing? You know, the idea that you can get rid of worms in your garden by burying certain things. We are going to dive into the science behind it, look at some common methods like burying eggshells or banana peels and see if there's any real evidence to back up the claims. I'll be sharing my own experiments and research, so stick around to find out if this age-old gardening trick actually works, or if it's just a bunch of Hey everyone, let's talk about getting rid of worms. Now, I know what you're thinking: worms aren't exactly the most glamorous topic, but trust me, dealing with them is a real problem for many people. So, let's dive into some simple, effective ways to tackle this issue. First off, let's discuss the straightforward, practical methods. We are talking about good old-fashioned hygiene and preventative measures. Regular hand washing, especially after gardening or playing outdoors, is absolutely crucial. Kids, especially, need to be taught this habit early on. Thorough hand washing with soap and water for at least 20 seconds can make a huge difference. Also, make sure you're washing all fruits and vegetables thoroughly before eating them. Think about where those fruits and vegetables have been. They could have been exposed to soil or contaminated water. Paying attention to food preparation is a big part of preventing worm infestations. Another important aspect is proper sanitation. This means ensuring your toilet is clean and functioning correctly. Regular cleaning of your bathroom and kitchen is also essential. These might seem like small things, but they are incredibly effective in preventing worm infestations. Don't underestimate the power of a clean environment. We are talking about things like regularly cleaning pet areas, too. Pet waste can be a breeding ground for parasites, so keeping those areas clean is a must. And finally, regular deworming medication for pets is a great preventative measure. Always consult your veterinarian for advice on the best deworming schedule for your furry friends. Remember, prevention is always better than cure. Now, let's shift gears and explore a slightly more unconventional approach. I'm talking about the magical rituals some people believe can help get rid of worms. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not saying these rituals are scientifically proven, but many cultures have long held beliefs and practices surrounding this. One common ritual involves using specific herbs and chanting certain incantations. The herbs are believed to have properties that repel or eliminate worms. These rituals often involve a cleansing element, symbolizing the removal of negativity and illness. Some rituals involve burying a symbolic representation of the worms, representing the banishment of the problem. The chants and incantations are often believed to have a powerful energetic effect, driving away the unwanted parasites. Remember, the effectiveness of these rituals is largely based on faith and belief. It's important to approach these practices with an open mind and respect for different cultural traditions. While there's no scientific evidence to support their efficacy, for some, the ritual itself can provide a sense of control and empowerment in dealing with a difficult situation. It's all about finding what works for you, and if a ritual provides comfort and peace of mind, then it might be worth exploring. Just remember to always consult a medical professional for any health concerns. So, you're curious about conspiracies for worms, huh? Let's dive into one that's surprisingly effective: using bread. Now, I know what you're thinking: bread? Seriously? But hear me out. The key isn't just any bread, it's about the type of bread, the way you prepare it, and the intention you put into the process. We are not just throwing a stale crust into the ground and hoping for the best. This is about creating an irresistible lure, a worm magnet, if you will. The most effective bread for this conspiracy, in my experience, is a slightly stale, but still soft, loaf of whole wheat. Why whole wheat? Because it's denser, holds moisture better, and has a more earthy scent that attracts worms. Avoid anything too processed or overly sweet; those artificial flavors can actually deter them. Now, the preparation is crucial. You don't want to just crumble it, you want to create a sort of bait station. Think about it: worms live underground, in dark, damp places. We need to mimic that environment. I usually take a small piece of the bread, maybe about the size of my thumb, and gently moisten it with water. Not soaking wet, just damp enough to be appealing. Then, I create a small indentation in the center, almost like a little well. This is where the magic happens. This little well helps to hold the moisture and creates a perfect little haven for the worms to crawl into. You can even add a tiny bit of something sweet, like a drop or TWO of molasses, to enhance the allure. But remember, subtlety is key. Too much sweetness can be overpowering. The placement of your bread conspiracy is also essential. You need to find a location that's dark, damp, and likely to have worms already present. Think under rocks, near decaying leaves, or in areas with loose soil. The idea is to make the bread as inconspicuous as possible yet readily available. Don't just toss it haphazardly, carefully place the moistened bread into the ground, ensuring the little well is facing upwards. This makes it easier for the worms to find and access the bait. Now, the waiting game begins. Depending on the conditions and the worm population in your area, you should start seeing results within a few hours. Sometimes, you might even find a whole colony gathered around your little bread haven. Remember, patience is key. This isn't a quick fix, it's a conspiracy that requires a bit of finesse and understanding of worm behavior. And that, my friends, is how you effectively use bread in your worm conspiracy.